Namaskar, you're watching Newsnight. The agenda setting primetime show national news broadcaster DD. Well, 7 years ago, the news of the brutal gang rape of Nirbhaya outraged nation and grabbed international headlines. On a cold winter night of December in 2012, 6 barbaric rapists, they beat her with a rod and they rape her in a moving bus. It was the most gruesome assault leading to most gruesome death. This was followed by endless wait for justice. And finally, with the Patiala House Court issuing death warrant for the execution of the 4 convicts in Nirbhaya case, the verdict is hailed by one and all, the entire nation. And in Newsnight tonight, we ask, will this finally serve as a deterrent to crime against women? Will this be a beginning of an end to horrific rape cases that get either confined to news reports or some are forgotten and many remember as we speak are not even reported? I'm Sakal Bhatt, and first up, headlines on Newsnight tonight. Delhi's Patiala House Court issues death warrant against all 4 convicts in Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case. 4 convicts to be hanged on January 22nd at 7 a.m. Verdict hailed by Nirbhaya's parents. Convicts counsel to file curative petition. Probe into JNU ruckus gains momentum. Crime branch and forensic science teams reach JNU to investigate January 5th violence at the university. JNU Vice Chancellor appeals for peace, urges all students to return to the campus. Meanwhile, 2 FIRs have been lodged for damage in server room. BJP's public awareness campaign in support of the Citizenship Amendment Act across the country gains full momentum. Union Minister Prasar Bharati in Delhi goes door to door to educate people, says CAA is not against anyone, lashes out at the opposition's misinformation campaign. Press conferences and rallies meanwhile held in several parts of the country. Home Minister Amit Shah releases a book titled Karma Yodhya Granth, based on the life of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the work done by him in the capacity of Prime Minister in New Delhi. Says Narendra Modi is the epitome of selfless service to the nation. In other news, Prime Minister Modi speaks to US President Donald Trump and conveys New Year greetings. States India-US relations are built on trust, mutual respect and understanding. The relationship has grown from strength to strength. Top international headline: tens of thousands of mourners participate in General Qasim Soleimani's funeral in his hometown Kirman. At least 35 killed in a stampede reportedly. Soleimani's successor vows revenge. Iranian lawmakers unanimously vote to declare all US forces as terrorists. Meanwhile, foreign ministers of Italy, France, Britain to meet in Brussels for an emergency discussion. Back home, Information and Broadcasting Minister Prasar Bharati gives away first Antarashtriya Yoga Divas Media Samman. Says Prime Minister Modi highlighted yoga before the world and many countries have accepted it. DD News receives the honour along with 29 other media organisations. And in sports news, India and Sri Lanka lock horns in second T20 international match at Indore. Sri Lanka sets target of 143 for India. Shardul Thakur takes 3 wickets. And we begin with the investigations as far as JNU ruckus is concerned. Now, the investigations, the probe, have gathered a lot of momentum, especially today when several teams of the Forensic Science Laboratory or FSL arrived at the Jawaharlal Nehru University campus to collect evidence, which also included some CCTV footage in connection, of course, with the violence in the varsity campus that left at least 34 people injured. Well, it may be recalled earlier on Sunday, a mob of masked young men stormed the JNU campus in South Delhi and targeted students in hostels. Meanwhile, no fresh incident has been reported from any part of the university amidst active deployment of police personnel, and that is something which will continue both inside and outside the university. Here's a report.
Police investigations into the violence and vandalism on the JNU campus on Sunday evening are in full swing. Police are using video footage and facial recognition system to identify those involved in the attack on the students and teachers. The police are also investigating Hindu Raksha Dal's claim regarding the attack. Hindu Raksha Dal has claimed responsibility on the brutal assault on teachers and students by a masked mob on January 5. Several teams of Forensic Science Laboratory arrived at JNU on Tuesday to gather evidence in connection with the violence in the varsity campus. A team of photo experts from Forensic Science is also present in the campus. Shalini Singh, Joint Commissioner of Delhi Police, who is investigating the case, visited the JNU campus on Tuesday and interacted with the students.
फैक्ट फाइंडिंग टीम की जांच आज शुरू हुई है। इसमें हम लोगों ने जितने भी यहाँ पे साइट्स हैं वो विज़िट किए हैं। एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव ब्लॉक, पेरियार हॉस्पिटल, हॉस्टल और जो बाकी सारी जगह हैं सारी हम लोगों ने अभी विज़िट करी हैं। और साबरमती हॉस्टल भी गए हैं और जो टी पॉइंट वगैरह है और कुछ बच्चों के साथ भी इंटरैक्ट किया है। तो अब आगे की कार्रवाई चलेगी।
Delhi Police has lodged 2 FIRs in connection with violence carried out in JNU server room. Meanwhile, the JNU Vice Chancellor spoke to the media on Tuesday and said that some students who opposed the registration process had ransacked the room and attacked him on 14 December last year. Describing the JNU campus as a safe place, he has urged all students to return to the campus.
We are trying everything possible to provide safety and security to the students. We have deployed enough security guards and we have also taken help from the Delhi police. The campus is a safe place. I request all the students to come back and register themselves for the new winter semester.
वायलेंस फिर दोबारा ऐसा रिपीट ना हो, इसके लिए हमने पुलिस को लिखा है और हमने हमारे जो गेट्स हैं, जितने भी यूनिवर्सिटी से बाहर निकलने के गेट्स हैं, वहाँ पर पूरी मात्रा में, पूरी संख्या में पुलिस बल तैनात करने की बात हमने कही है। जहाँ जहाँ हमारे सेंसिटिव पॉइंट्स हैं, प्लेन क्लॉथ में पुलिस का डिप्लॉयमेंट करें।
Meanwhile, the central government has said that the masked attackers involved in the JNU attack will soon be exposed.
जो भी नकाबपोश आए थे लोग और जिन्होंने हिंसा करी वो बेनकाब हो गए और जिस तरह से जेएनयू दिल्ली और देश के विभिन्न हिस्सों में हिंसा के लिए उकसाया जा रहा है, इसका भी पर्दाफाश होगा। ये सारी घटनाएं एक सूत्र में ही देखना चाहिए।
Amid counter allegations on the attack, BJP has said that Congress and Aam Aadmi Party are behind the attack.
जिस प्रकार से बारीकी से जांच पड़ताल पुलिस के द्वारा की जा रही है, उसमें आने वाले दिनों में साफ हो जाएगा कि किस प्रकार से किसके द्वारा और क्यों घटना की गई है।
On Sunday night, some masked people armed with sticks and iron rods entered the campus and attacked students and teachers and damaged property in the campus on Sunday night. Later, the administration had to call the police. Security has been beefed up in the campus after this incident. Vishal Baristo, DD India.
And moving on to the top focus tonight, and this was certainly one of the much-awaited judgments where justice was perhaps delayed but not denied. Today, the Patiala House Court issued the death warrant for execution of the 4 convicts in the Nirbhaya rape and murder case. They will be hanged till death on January 22nd at 7 a.m. Remember 7 years ago, the news of the brutal gang rape and death of Nirbhaya outraged India. On a cold winter night of December in 2012, 6 barbaric rapists, they beat her and raped her in a moving bus. We have this full report.
The accused in the heinous gang rape on the night of the 16th of December 2012 that left the nation shaken are a step closer to hanging until death. Delhi's Patiala House Court ordered that they be hanged on the 22nd of January at 7 a.m. in Tihar Jail. The order was pronounced by Additional Sessions Judge Satish Kumar Arora, who issued the death warrants against the 4 death row convicts.
इनको 7 दिन का 18 दिसंबर को जब रिव्यू पिटीशन डिसमिस हुआ था, उसके बाद 7 दिन का नोटिस दिया गया था, मर्सी पिटीशन फाइल कर सकते हैं तो करें। बावजूद इसके 3 वीक निकल गए और आज तक कोई मर्सी पिटीशन चारों में से किसी भी कन्विक्ट की तरफ से नहीं फाइल किया गया है।
The court has given the convicts 14 days. This means that they have 2 weeks to file a curative or mercy petition. Convict Akshay Singh's counsel has said that he will file a curative petition.
सिक्योरिटी पिटीशन और डेथ सेंटेंस को स्टे करने की एप्लीकेशन सुप्रीम कोर्ट में फाइल की जाएगी, जिसके आधार पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट स्टे देकर आगे का प्रोसीजर करेगा और उसको डिसाइड होने के बाद मर्सी पिटीशन राष्ट्रपति के फाइल कर।
During the hearing, the prosecution said that there was no application pending before any court or the president right now by any of the convicts, and the review petition of all the convicts was dismissed by the Supreme Court. The counsel for two of the convicts, Mukesh and Vinay, said that they were in the process of filing a curative petition in the Supreme Court. Later, the court interacted with the convicts via video conferencing. Nirbhaya's parents welcomed the order as one that will raise the confidence of women.
इस फांसी से देश के महिलाओं का कानून पर विश्वास जगेगा, आस्था जुड़ेगी और सबको
इस तरह के हैवानगी करने वाले लोगों के मन में एक डर जरूर पैदा होगा, क्योंकि चार जब एक साथ लटकाए जाएंगे तो आगे आने वाली पीढ़ी भी सोचेगी कि नहीं हम क्या करें क्या ना करें.
The union government as well as leaders across party lines welcomed the decision.
I think this is 7 years too late, but having said that, finally justice for Nirbhaya's entire family and for every person in this country.
मैं आज ये कहूंगी कि निर्भया के माता पिता ने जो लड़ाई लड़ी है पिछले 7 साल से, मैं उनको अपना ट्रिब्यूट पे करती हूँ.
मैं उस माँ को सलाम करती हूँ जिसने आज कोर्ट को मजबूर कर दिया कि डेथ वारंट जो है 22 जनवरी के लिए दे दिया गया है.
The four accused in the Nirbhaya gang rape case, Vinay Sharma, Mukesh Singh, Pawan Gupta and Akshay Kumar Singh, were sentenced to death in 2013. In 2015, one of the accused, Ram Singh, committed suicide at Tihar jail. Another accused was released after spending 3 years in a correction centre on the grounds of being a juvenile in the same year. Last year in December, the Apex Court dismissed the review petition filed by convict Akshay Kumar Singh. The review petitions of 3 remaining convicts were also rejected by the court. While 22nd January has been decided as the date for hanging the convicts, they still have the option of filing curative petition along with mercy petition. If they decide to file these petitions, the hanging could be further delayed. But one thing is certain, that these convicts do not have much time. With Vikas Arthi in Delhi, Newsnight Desk, DD India.
The judgments we all waited for, and on Newsnight tonight in focus we talk about Nirbhaya verdict. Has justice been finally served? And not only that, we will also dwell on the fact that what are the lessons learned here, and is this now going to be a final deterrent or deterrence when it comes to curbing crime against women? And in our Delhi studio we have Yogita Bhayana, social activist, and she's been associated with the case since so many years, since 2012, right from the day one. Yogita, thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight tonight on this very important day. And also Rekha Agarwal, senior advocate, also she's been associated with the case right from day one. In fact, I'd like to go to Yogita first. Yogita, was this not really expected? But the fact remains, no matter how much we rejoice and, but then we had to wait so long. I mean, that is something which, the fact, the overwhelming fact, which cannot be avoided, which cannot be overlooked upon, because this was beyond rape, this case.
Absolutely, Sakal. So there are mixed emotions. Yes, first is that, yes, it has come to some conclusion. The date has been finalized. So far, we did not hear any particular date when they will be hanged. We heard from the lower court, high court and the Supreme Court keeping the death penalty, but no date was given as such when they will be hanged. Here we hear the date and we hear the time. So this definitely comes as an overwhelming kind of a thing, but justice is delayed here for sure. 7 years have gone by, and you were also there when you were covering it so passionately. I remember we had met each other at the protest also. So, it is actually joy feeling for all the women because the justice has been delivered. But yes, 7 years are not good enough in the sense it should have been done, in within 2-3 years or 4 years they would have been hanged.
Let me quickly take this to Rekha ji. Now, legally speaking, is this really going to set a strong precedence when it comes to such barbaric cases? Because after Nirbhaya, we in fact just a few weeks ago, remember, we discussed Hyderabad case.
Absolutely.
Yes. So is this going to be real benchmark in terms of deterrence, in terms of deterrent?
Sakal, frankly speaking, I'm not an advocate for death penalty at all. That is, of course, my personal view. And if we recollect the findings of the Justice M.L. Verma committee also, Justice Verma had also concluded that, the statistics of various other countries had also shown that death penalty by itself has not been a deterrent for stopping heinous crimes or for preventing them.
And what could be the deterrent?
I think that the biggest deterrent, personally speaking, is
in this
a
case,
speedy trial.
But in this case, it had to be death.
It had to be. It had to be. It had to be. I mean, this was, as you just rightly said, this was beyond rape.
Yes.
This was beyond a cold-blooded murder.
Yes. Yes.
This was not rape per se. So, we, even while talking about it, I'm frankly feeling so uncomfortable because I'm remembering 16th December and almost a month or two after that, when we were debating on various channels about the heinous crime and what is going to be the final verdict. And it was, within a record period, of course, of 9 months, the fast-track court in Saket had passed the historic judgment, which was upheld by the High Court and by the Supreme Court also. Now,
But
whether death...
those 9 months and then this long wait of 6 years.
I do agree that for the common man, it's been a very long time. But I must, every viewer who's watching this program must remember that we are a democratic country, and every person, howsoever at fault he may be or he may not be, he has a right to fight.
No, he has. We gave Kasab also right to fight. We gave them also
within
right
few
to fight.
months.
But then, in such cases, do we really have to wait so long? Because in this case, they do have an option for filing a curative petition. But then why do we talk about this being a deterrent and this, setting some sort of deterrence?
Sakal, as far as time is concerned, yes, it has no doubt. I mean, even speaking as a lawyer, I'll say I do admit that it has been a very, very long time, and justice delayed, as the old maxim goes, justice delayed is justice denied. But
even
let us not forget,
even in such cases, ma'am, even in such cases, long wait for 6 years.
It has been a very, very long. It has no
So
doubt.
what about those cases, Nirbhaya? She has been associated with victims.
Similar brutality.
Yes, similar brutality, little worse or maybe more. But
Even
there
more.
are so many cases,
Sakal.
Yogita, which are not even reported.
So we were depending on this particular case because it was media highlighted, and this was a symbol. As I always say, that Nirbhaya was a symbol of justice. If we can't get justice for her in time justice, or you can say the right justice for her, I don't think so. We can 7 years. It would, the justice is right that they are going to be hanged, but it is little delayed.
The time.
And the time definitely not. Definitely not. We disappointing, but we are feeling happy today or satisfied because it is happening finally. Not because it is happening on time. We are happy because it is happening finally. I was with the family the whole day. They were having the same opinion. I spent the day with them in the court and outside also. We were together just till now. So, it's a mixed emotion for them, they finally, and we could not
happened, Rekha ji, you would not disagree, because there was tremendous amount of pressure.
Absolutely.
Tremendous amount of pressure on the government then, on the judiciary now, and then also the kind of public outrage, the kind of emotional
Never we had seen it earlier.
Never we had seen India Gate,
yes. And Sakal, I must congratulate the media. I mean, any channel, every channel whichever political ideology they may be having or they may not be having, but every channel covered it, tooth and nail, everybody was covering it.
But what about the cases which don't even see the light of the day?
And that is
this
very
was
sad.
Covered 24/7 from 16th till today by media so comprehensively, but there are cases which don't even see the light of the day.
Yes, and there may be cases which may be worse than Nirbhaya.
Yes.
There may be cases which
there
may
are.
be worse.
No, what about the rapes of minors,
the rapes, the POXO cases, in fact, after the post-Nirbhaya, the POXO Act was also, enacted. It took us almost 20 years, despite being a signatory to the Beijing Convention on Child Rights. Finally, India had a law which was particularly for sexual offences against children. But coming back to the question that you started with, that it has been a very long wait, but at the same time, as a human being, yes, and as a woman, I'd feel appalled at when I just remember the heinous crime that these people committed. But as a lawyer, and if I speak from my brain and not from my heart, then at the same time, let us not forget that we are a democratic country. There is a constitution which is above all.
Democracy cannot always give a long rope.
Democracy
cannot always be giving
no,
this
it is not
long
given
rope.
a long rope. Democracy is only given the convict a chance to appeal to
it
every
took so
which
many
court
years.
possible. So
But
he has a
took
chance
lot
to
of
appeal to the
time.
High Court.
Okay,
He has a chance to appeal to the Supreme Court.
Rekha ji, I agree with you that there is a it's a democracy. They had their own opportunities to prove themselves that but not 7 years. I mean, today also they were trying to buy times. I saw them on video conferencing. They were not feeling ashamed at all.
What about the bizarre arguments put forth in those petitions
Today
which
also
range
they were
from
very
quality of air in Delhi?
There was no sign of remorse on them.
Shows that
Is that not something which adds so much insult to the injury?
It does. It is like rubbing salt in the wounds, you know, and this itself shows the criminal bent of mind that these people have.
So what's the deterrent then, Rekha ji? If this is not the deterrent,
that's a very valid question. The fact that they have this kind of a criminal bent of mind, or they're least repentant about what the heinous crime that they did, that itself will not deny them the right to
but
approach
after
the court.
Nirbhaya,
So therefore, the court must set a deadline. I think that we'll have to go walk the middle path.
Okay,
and the middle path would be that yes, if any person, whether it is these
Rekha ji, when Nirbhaya happened, tab se lekar ab tak, it's not that we haven't reported, being a journalist.
Yes.
There have been severe, perhaps worse cases, rape cases of minors, and I mean, I don't want to deviate the debate, but you know, you have been interacting with the victims on daily basis.
Absolutely.
In this case, we waited and finally, okay, justice has been served. But the larger question is that, will it always take so much of public outrage, media trial to come to something like this?
I hope not. And I hope that besides the fact that, you know, we cannot just depend upon the law to change the society and to change the mind of the people. And as I've been advocating on every channel, I think the two things which the society has to now think about. One is sex education, and the other is legal education.
That's all
there
okay,
has to
Rekha
be
ji,
a
but
fear of law. There has to be an awareness about law.
Yes,
how many people
do we have fear of
remember?
law? Do we have fear of law?
Not
Not
yet,
at
as
all.
of now.
Not
Because
at
there's no
all.
awareness
That's
about
exactly
it.
my
That
point.
fear of law
Fear
has to
of
be
law will happen only once you show them
That
hanging. No,
awareness.
if we see them hanging, only the fear of law will come. No,
The
ma'am.
law does not allow such
Even
kind of a public
Hyderabad
hanging.
culprits, they didn't know there is a law that they'll be hanged.
We were not
It's
really
not a Taliban
not let's not
we
go
should.
there. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Taliban style of hanging is we are a democratic
not at
country.
all.
No, but that's fine. My question is, after Nirbhaya, there were more cases which came to
worse
surface.
than
Every
that.
day we get
And I do
cases.
remember,
And it's on daily basis,
and I
ma'am.
do remember that just a few months after Nirbhaya case, I was on a channel speaking about the rape of a minor girl, who was working, who's the daughter of a laborer working at some construction site, and the brutal manner in which she was raped and murdered.
And these are not isolated incidents.
And these happen
My
every
point
day.
is, these are not isolated incidents. Therefore, when I say that, when we say that has justice been finally served, it's a question. It is a big question. Let's face it.
Absolutely, Sakal. So this is exactly we were discussing that. Now, if you would have hanged these Nirbhaya convicts within 1 year, 2 years per se, so message would have gone and we would have prevented many cases. There is no doubt about it. So it could have been a deterrent. Even now, if now we learn from our mistakes, all that we have in the court, we have seen today also, some human rights lawyers, I don't want to, I can also name them also, some renowned human rights lawyer, she turned up there and she wanted to fight for these culprits. Even till today, she wanted to drag it further. So she popped out suddenly. So, this is a lesson learned that even our judiciary needs to really introspect and come out with some kind of a framework where it really becomes a deterrent. Hanging will not become a deterrent till the time it is spread as awareness, like yes, if you do such a crime, you will be hanged.
Okay.
Within 2 years, within
Yogita,
3 years.
What I will add to that is over here that public memory is very short. In fact, we had a Nirbhaya case in 2012 and now we are in 2020, right? And there have been various cases of various Nirbhayas after that.
Absolutely.
It is very, very tragic that it is only the media which kind of refreshes the public memory again, that we are talking about the 2012 case. So therefore, I do agree with you to that extent that yes, there should be a time frame in which such cases of heinous crimes particularly are decided on a fast track basis. Like the fast track court, the sessions court decided the matter. Yes, but the High Court decided it within a record time. But the number of years which it almost dragged on for about 2 years before the Honorable Apex Court. And then after that, unfortunately or unfortunately, the Constitution provides for a mercy petition, it provides for a review petition, it provides for a curative petition, and there is always an application which can be filed for condonation of delay. So even if these people have been sitting and waiting to file the review petition, waiting to file the curative petition, which they should have done long time ago. But since there is the prospect of death hanging large, the court generally is very liberal in condoning the delay in hearings and petitions. So such cases should definitely be decided on a quicker basis. But we cannot make law a casualty. We cannot make justice a casualty.
No, but then the justice is justice not really a casualty in this case, because you've explained this legally. You've explained this legally in the framework of our democratic setup.
Yes.
Now, the kind of cases that are reported in rural India.
Yes.
This doesn't cut eyes there, because like you yourself mentioned, those cases, the laborers are involved, where infants are, where minors are involved.
Yes.
What would you tell them?
And therefore,
there is no fear?
as far as the rural background
because
is
they
concerned,
don't know about that.
Sakal,
because
they
don't know.
Policing also?
Yes,
What about
exactly. Policing, legality, awareness about the law that they'll be hanged. Even Hyderabad culprits, they didn't know that they'll be hanged if they commit such a crime. They had done 8 such crimes earlier.
We go back to my first question about deterrence, ma'am.
Yes. As I said, coming back to what I said in the beginning, I personally would not be advocating death penalty for any crime whatsoever. But that is my personal opinion. And legally speaking, yes, death punishment can be given.
Death penalty.
And I hope,
what about you're saying personally, but then you're also sitting here in a legal capacity, being an advocate.
Yes.
What do you suggest in such cases? I mean, there are, with due respects to everyone who, especially the human rights bandwagon, who were dead against the whole death penalty, and in the last 6 years we have seen numerous studio discussions trying to set this counter narrative. But then if not death in such cases, and this is not a standalone case, then what?
Again, it is a very subjective, view that one takes in such matters. Our constitution provides for the Indian Penal Code provides for death penalty only in the rarest of rare cases.
If this is not rarest of the
underlined. Now, whether this case or any other case for that matter, Nirbhaya case or any other case for that matter, falls within the ambit of rarest of rare, that is to be left to the discretion of the honorable judges. In this case, yes, the honorable court
was beyond rarest.
Everybody knows that, Sakal. We don't need a judge's wisdom. We all know it was a rarest of the rare.
It was beyond rape, and as Sakal rightly put it, this was not just a case of rape per se. It was a brutal case of rape, brutal murder, and therefore, yes,
punishment is, I think, lesser.
It did fit in the category of a rarest of rare, as the law permits. But again, whether death punishment itself can be a deterrent, again,
that's a separate debate. But today, finally, the justice has been served. On that note, thank you.
And as I say, what goes around comes around. Law has finally come a full circle.
But it took us a long wait. Let's also face that also. Thank you very much, Yogita Bayana and Rekha Agarwal, for joining us on Newsnight. Thank you. Let's move on and talk about the other lead stories of the day. BJP's door-to-door campaign and its outreach on CAA gathered full steam today as well. This campaign, remember, aims at countering the opposition's misinformation campaign against the Citizenship Amendment Act. We have more.
BJP's public awareness campaign in support of the Citizenship Amendment Act across the country is in full swing. Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar in Delhi went door-to-door to educate people and make them understand about the CAA. A huge crowd gathered in support of the CAA on this occasion.
आप कभी सिग्नेचर ब्रिज गए होंगे या मजनू का टीला में गए होंगे, वहाँ ऐसे जो आए हैं वो शरणार्थी वहाँ रहते हैं। उन शरणार्थियों को इस देश का नागरिकता देना, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान, बांग्लादेश और अफगानिस्तान में उनके साथ जाती हुई, तो ऐसे जो लोग आए हैं उनको देने का ये काम है। इसमें बेवजह कुछ लोग गलतफहमी पैदा कर रहे हैं।
Union Minister of State for Home Affairs Nityanand Rai and senior BJP leader Vijay Goyal led a peace march from Sadar Bazaar to Jama Masjid in Delhi. On this occasion, Vijay Goyal stated that the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party have acted to incite violence in Delhi on the amended citizenship law. He also said that both parties are misleading people while the government is trying their best to give citizenship.
इस दिल्ली की गंगा जमनी तहजीब है, या हिंदू मुस्लिम इकट्ठा रहता है, किंतु ये कांग्रेस, ये आम आदमी पार्टी, इन लोगों ने हिंसा भड़काई। हिंदू मुस्लिम को समझाना है कि नागरिकता संशोधन कानून नागरिकता देने के लिए है, लेने के लिए नहीं है।
In Ludhiana, addressing a press conference, BJP leader Shivraj Singh Chauhan lashed out at the opposition for misleading people on the CAA.
CAA के विरोध का केंद्र 10 जनपद बना है। 10 जनपद ही हिंसा की आग भड़काने की कोशिश कर रहा है, जो धार्मिक आधार पर वर्षों से प्रताड़ित हैं और नारकी जीवन जी रहे हैं, उनको नया जीवन दिया CAA ने।
In Assam too, many units of BJP are going door to door with the aim of contacting people to counter the opposition campaign against the CAA. In Kopla, Karnataka, Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad took out a tricolor rally in support of CAA. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar condemned the display of a Free Kashmir poster during the demonstration on JNU violence at Mumbai's Gateway of India on Monday, saying that Kashmir is an integral part of India and peace in Jammu and Kashmir after the abrogation of Article 370 has been maintained.
कश्मीर तो भारत का अभिन्न हिस्सा है और हमारा नाज है, और 370 हटने के बाद 6 महीने में कश्मीर में शांति भी कायम हुई और तरक्की भी हो रही है, और इसलिए पूरा देश और दुनिया में इस कार्रवाई का समर्थन हो रहा है। कुछ चंद लोग अराजकवादी है जो इस तरह के आज़ादी का नारा लगाते हैं, लेकिन अब कश्मीर में भी कोई नहीं लगाता।
BJP is running a public awareness campaign across the country to clear the confusion being spread across the country by the opposition on the Citizenship Amendment Act. The central government has recently passed the CAA from Parliament to grant citizenship in India to persecuted minorities from Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh who have been living in India as refugees before 2014. Newsnight Desk, DD India.
And after simmering anger nationwide over Nankana Sahib incident, groups including Bajrang Dal held massive protest outside Pak High Commission, the Pakistan High Commission. And this comes, remember, close on the heels of India summoning Pakistan's top envoy, Syed Haider Shah, to lodge a serious protest over the attack on Nankana Sahib Gurdwara and the killing of the Sikh youth in Peshawar in Pakistan.
There's been massive outrage nationwide over the attack on Nankana Sahib Gurdwara and the killing of a Sikh youth in Pakistan. Tuesday saw Bajrang Dal and other groups vehemently opposing Nankana Sahib incident, staging a protest outside Pakistani High Commission, chanting anti-Pakistan slogans and demanding stringent action against those responsible for the Nankana Sahib incident.
जैसे मक्का मदीना पवित्र है, वैसे ही ननकाना साहब भी पवित्र है। अगर ये सब बंद नहीं हुआ तो बंदा बैरागी को याद करके, सर्वंशदानी गुरु गोविंद सिंह को याद करके इतना प्रबल समर्थन हम पाकिस्तान की पीड़ित जनता को देंगे कि पाकिस्तान एक देश के नाते रह भी नहीं पाएगा।
Monday too saw sporadic protests by various groups across the country. Several political outfits have also registered strong protests against the heinous act in Peshawar. A delegation of Shiromani Akali Dal leaders met External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and urged him to take up the matter with Pakistan.
ये एक बहुत इमोशनल पूरे सिख कम्युनिटी में गुस्सा पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ है कि वो माइनॉरिटी जो वहाँ रह रही हैं उनको इन सेंस ऑफ इनसिक्योरिटी, और बड़ी बात है जो हमारा रिलीजियस होलीस्ट ऑफ होलीस्ट प्लेस है ननकाना साहब, अगर वो सेफ नहीं है तो ये एक बहुत बड़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग रिजेंटमेंट हमारी कम्युनिटी में है.
In a strongly worded statement, India registered its protest at the recent acts of vandalism and desecration of the holy Gurdwara Sri Janam Sthan at Nankana Sahib and also the targeted killing of minority Sikh community member in Peshawar. India summoned Pakistan's Charge d'Affaires Syed Haider Shah to the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi on Monday to lodge a protest over the attack on Nankana Sahib Gurdwara and the killing of the Sikh youth. MEA expressed strong concerns at the continued persecution of religious and ethnic minorities in Pakistan, including the recent despicable and heinous acts. As a result of massive protests lodged by India diplomatically, Imran Chishti, the Pakistani national accused of inciting violence and vandalizing Nankana Sahib, was arrested by the Pakistani police. He's been charged with a non-bailable section of the stringent Anti-Terrorism Act and blasphemy. It may be recalled A violent mob attacked the Gurdwara on Friday when the main accused, Imran Chishti, along with a group of people, laid siege to Gurdwara Janamsthan, where Guru Nanak was born. In yet another incident, 25-year-old Sikh Ravinder Singh was allegedly murdered in Peshawar, Pakistan. The main accused has now been taken into custody as part of a probe, but getting justice in Pakistan in the past has always been an uphill task. Newsnight Desk, DD India.
And now let's take a look at the persecution of minority in Pakistan. This is its worst kept open secret. And when we talk about that, it's definitely the most abyssal record as far as the persecution of minorities in Pakistan is concerned. Now let's begin. On January 4th, 2020, just recently, violent mob attacked Nankana Sahib Gurdwara, and 25-year-old Sikh man was also identified as Ravinder Singh. He was allegedly murdered in Peshawar in Pakistan, and this is a story which grabbed international headlines. Now let's go a little back. In August 2019, Sikh girl identified as Jagjit Kaur, she was abducted at gunpoint, she was converted and betrothed to a Muslim man. Now according to the Pakistan Human Rights Commission, between 20 and 25 years of age as far as Hindu girls are concerned, they are abducted every month and converted. We do have more date and timeline. Let's move on and talk about April 29. One of Pakistan's independent human rights watchdog made some pertinent observations. It said it actually talked about the forced conversions. Let's move on. Forced conversions, marriages of Hindu and Christian girls. These were some of the observations made by the independent Pakistan human rights watchdog. It further observed that at least 1,000 cases were reported in southern Sindh province, only concentrated in the southern Sindh province of Pakistan, and 1,000 cases of forced conversions, marriages of Hindu and Christian girls were also estimated in 2018 as well. Now, known cases of abduction and forced marriage cases drew a lot of international condemnations. Which are these cases? These are the cases which included Asia Bibi, Rinkul Kumari, Ravita Meghwar, or the story of teenage sisters Reena and Ravina Lal. Now, let's move and talk about what happened in 2012. In 2012, 3 Hindu doctors were reportedly killed and 1 injured in an attack. Now, in Pakistan, certain reports also suggest that Sikhs are on the verge of extinction. The community's population has been reportedly reduced to about 8,000. Now, between 1947 and 1951, more than 50 lakh persecuted Hindus crossed over to India, and between 1951 and 1970, more than 40 lakh were persecuted Hindus which crossed over to India as well. 4th Jan 2011, Christians prosecuted and killed mainly on the grounds of blasphemy. When we talk about this, the case of Salman Taseer, minister in Nawaz Sharif's government in Punjab, was assassinated. Reportedly, he asked for a fair trial of Christians, and then he was later charged with blasphemy. Now, and let's move on and get you a detailed explainer as far as persecution of minorities in Pakistan is concerned. But we now will talk about the observations made by United Nations on the status of women, specifically on the status of women as far as minority community or minority persecution is concerned. Now, religious freedom, it observed, in Pakistan is suffering and struggling continuously. It also maintained that deterioration or the worsening under Imran Khan-led government in Pakistan is at all-time high. It further maintained that Pakistan government should take action against the perpetrators of the attacks on religious minorities in particular, and also urged Imran Khan to clamp down on this sectarian violence. We're going to slip into a short break on Newsnight tonight. On the other side, we have more news and updates. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, Union Home Minister and BJP National President Amit Shah today released a book titled Karma Yodha Granth, based on the life of Narendra Modi and also work done by him as the Prime Minister. This was released in New Delhi. The book has been published by Hindi Vivek, a monthly Hindi magazine. Addressing the gathering, the Home Minister talked about the three parts of Prime Minister Modi's life, starting from the phase of dedicating his life to an ideology, entering politics and also on the ideals of Sangathan, and finally upholding the tenets of parliamentary democracy and the constitution to construct an ideal state.
नरेंद्र भाई के जीवन को अगर सरसरी दृष्टि से किसी को देखना है तो तीन हिस्सों में जीवन हो सकता है। राजनीतिक क्षेत्र में 87 में वो आए, आइडियोलॉजी के आधार पर चलने वाली पार्टी को आइडियोलॉजी की स्वीकृति के आधार पर पार्टी की स्वीकृति लाना, ये पहली बार अगर कहीं हुआ तो गुजरात में जब नरेंद्र भाई संगठन मंत्री थे तब। 2001 से 2014 तक गुजरात के मुख्यमंत्री और 2014 से 2020 तक भारत के प्रधानमंत्री के नाते हमारे संविधान के स्पिरिट के साथ किस प्रकार से शासन व्यवस्था बदल सकती है, उसको एक आदर्श तरीके से इतने लंबे कालखंड से 2001 से 2020 19 साल के कालखंड में उन्होंने सिद्ध कर दिखाया।
Delhi BJP in charge expressed confidence of a massive win in the upcoming Delhi Assembly polls. He has said that the party was fully prepared to win the confidence of the people of Delhi.
पार्टी की पूरी तैयारी है और इस बार भारतीय जनता पार्टी भारी बहुमत से जीतेगी। मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जो विकास हो रहा है वो लोगों को पसंद है और इसलिए ये निश्चित हमें विजय का विश्वास है। सारी टीमें तैयार है, तुरंत प्रचार में बाकी सारी व्यवस्थाएं तैयारियां चल रही है और जैसे ही उम्मीदवारों के नाम की घोषणा होगी उस क्षेत्र में तुरंत प्रचार शुरू होगा।
And Union Minister Dr. Harshwardhan has slammed Arvind Kejriwal-led Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi on not fulfilling their promises made to the people. Dr. Harshwardhan also said that now Delhiites have got chance to get rid of such governance.
I think it's good news for Delhiites. They will now get the chance to get rid of a government which promised them so much but failed on virtually every front, including what they talked with so much of, I would say, pomp and show, probity in public life. They were the first ones to compromise on that. And most of their MLAs, most of their policies, I think they were all deeply, I think, drowned in corruption and scandals.
In other news, the Supreme Court will hear the petition by Tata Sons challenging the NCLAT decision restoring Cyrus Mistry as executive chairman of the Tata Group on 10th of January. The plea has been listed before three-judge bench headed by Chief Justice S.A. Bobde on Tuesday, that is today. Tata Sons has challenged 18th of December decision by the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal in the top court. The decision restored Mistry as executive chairman and also ruled that the appointment of N. Chandrasekhar as an head of the holding company of $110 billion salt to software conglomerate was illegal. Tatas, meanwhile, have submitted that the verdict by the NCLAT is undermining the corporate democracy and the rights of its board of directors. And now let's take a quick look at what else has been happening across the country.
Security forces gunned down a local militant in an encounter in Avantipora area of South Kashmir. The militant, identified as Shahid, was a resident of Bijbihara area of Anantnag district. The forces launched a search operation in the area after they received tip-off about the presence of the militant there. Cache of arms of ammunition were also recovered during the search operation. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu attended the Silver Jubilee celebrations of National Assessment and Accreditation Council in Bengaluru. He also released a compendium during the event. In his address, the Vice President spoke about the need for reforms in higher education. A Chennai special court dismissed a discharge petition filed by Congress's MP Karti Chidambaram and his wife Srinidhi in connection with a tax evasion case. The judge ordered the framing of charges and sought both the accused to be present in the court on January 21st. The matter relates to the alleged non-disclosure of Rs 1.35 crore received by Karti Chidambaram, son of former Union Minister P. Chidambaram, and his wife in cash for sale of land in Muttukadu. Rabindranath Mahato has been elected as the Speaker of Jharkhand Assembly. Mahato was elected unanimously on the second day of three-day session of the Assembly. A supplementary budget of 4,210 crore was also tabled by the Hemant Soren government in the Assembly session. In his maiden address to the Goa Assembly, Governor Satyapal Malik said that the government has been making efforts to prevent diversion of the Mahadai water outside the river basin. The governor was addressing the House during the one-day session of the Assembly. He said that the state has also sought a clarification from the Interstate Water Dispute Tribunal over its order on the water diversion issue. Arunachal Pradesh Governor B.D. Mishra called upon the legislators to work in close coordination to take the state towards peace and prosperity. He said that the state has achieved 100% household electrification under Saubhagya and Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Jyoti Yojana. Heavy snowfall in Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh has disrupted day-to-day life, including suspension of vehicular movement in several areas. As cold wave has struck again, temperature has dipped across northern India. Mercury levels dropped in the national capitals as Delhi received light rainfall. Parts of Punjab and Haryana also received showers.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar today conferred awards to 30 media houses in recognition of their contribution towards promoting healthy living through yoga. Now, the awards are titled Antarashtriya Yoga Divas Media Samman, and they were presented under three categories. Javadekar described the award as a unique honor to media organizations that contributed to promote yoga for the benefit of society.
INB Minister Prakash Javadekar presented the first ever Antarashtriya Yoga Divas Media Samman Awards to 30 media houses in New Delhi on Tuesday for promoting yoga. Addressing the gathering, Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar said, "Yoga is the identity of India in the world and it is a great tool for preventive health." He said yoga, an Indian brand, has gained global respect due to the vision and efforts of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He recalled that the United Nations supported India's proposal for an International Day of Yoga with overwhelming majority. The minister said, "It is the responsibility of the media to promote good things in society." He also lauded the role of media in creating awareness about yoga.
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की प्रतिभा है, जिन्होंने ये इनिशिएटिव दुनिया के मंच पर यूएन के सामने रखा और 100 दिन में 170 देशों ने सपोर्ट करके 21 जून को योगा दिवस हुआ। ये एक भारी भारत का सम्मान है। आज 21 जून के 4 साल हो गए, 5 साल हो गए और 5 साल में दुनिया के 190 देशों में कार्यक्रम होते हैं।
Speaking on the occasion, Ayush Minister Shripad Nayak said, "Such initiatives should be appreciated as they help in spreading awareness about yoga."
The objective is to raise the awareness about the benefit of the practicing yoga. Yoga Divas is celebrated on an international level in the form of activities like yoga training camp, yoga competition, and many other activities to enhance the awareness about the innumerable benefit that one can derive by practicing yoga on a daily basis.
President of the Press Council, Justice C.K. Prasad, described yoga as an investment with zero risk and considerable benefit.
According to the World Health Organization, yoga is a valuable tool to increase physical activity and decrease non-communicable disease. In the Global Action Plan on Physical Activity 2018-2030, WHO recommends for routine practice of yoga for people of all ages to promote good health.
Awards were given to regional newspapers including Midday Mumbai, Sanskar TV, Daily Navprabha, Nai Dunya, and many radio channels that have contributed significantly to the awareness of yoga.
ये जो हमने काम किया ना योगा डे के दौरान, तो एक चीज़ हमने खुद ने भी महसूस की कि सच में इट इज़ वेरी इफ़ेक्टिव, बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा असरकारक चीज़ है और हमारी धरोहर है। अगर हम इसे नहीं अपनाएंगे तो लोग कैसे अपनाएंगे? जो मीडिया, जिन लोगों ने इस पे काम किया ना, उन लोगों की भी लाइफ चेंज हो गई।
मैं आभारी हूँ सूचना एवं प्रसारण मंत्रालय और आयुष मंत्रालय का, जिन्होंने आज मीडिया संस्थानों को सम्मान दिया है और उनका उत्साहवर्धन किया है।
11 awards were conferred under the category of Best Media Coverage of Yoga in Newspapers, 8 awards under the category Best Media Coverage of Yoga in Television, and 11 awards were conferred under the category Best Media Coverage of Yoga in Radio. With inputs from Nitendra Singh, DD India, New Delhi.
And Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke with US President Donald Trump to convey New Year greetings. The Prime Minister wished President Trump, his family and the people of United States good health, prosperity and success in the new year. He stated that India-US relations, which are built on trust, mutual respect and understanding, have grown from strength to strength. The Prime Minister highlighted the significant progress made in deepening the strategic partnership between the two countries in the previous year and expressed his desire to continue to work with President Trump for enhancing cooperation in all areas of mutual interest. President Trump wished the people of India prosperity and progress in New Year. The leaders discussed ways to further strengthen the US-India strategic partnership in 2020, and they also reviewed their regional security matters. In fact, the telephonic conversation between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi came in the backdrop of escalating tensions in Gulf region after US killed top Iranian commander General Qasem Soleimani in a drone strike in the Iraqi capital Baghdad. Monday's telephonic call was the first contact between the two leaders in the new year. The conversation between Trump and Prime Minister Modi came a day after External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar on Sunday held a telephonic talk with US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and voiced India's concern over the escalating tensions in the Gulf region after killing of Soleimani, the head of Iran's elite Al-Quds force. And staying with that, let's move on to the latest on escalating tensions between US and Iran. Iranian lawmakers have now unanimously voted for a motion declaring all US forces as terrorists in response to the assassination of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani last Friday. Now, according to Iran's state news agency IRNA, the Iranian foreign minister has also called strike against Soleimani an act of state terrorism, reiterating that Tehran will mount a response. Meanwhile, a number of people have died reportedly in a stampede at Qasem Soleimani's funeral in his hometown of Kerman, as also reported by the Iranian press TV. We have this comprehensive report.
Kerman was a sea of humanity with tens of thousands of mourners gathering for the burial of General Qasem Soleimani. A stampede broke out, killing over 35 and injuring many. The massive number of mourners in the hometown of the slain commander of the Revolutionary Guard's Foreign Operations Arm appeared to match the huge turnout seen in the cities of Tehran, Qom, Mashhad and Ahvaz. Soleimani's successor, Major General Hossein Salami, vowed revenge.
We will take revenge that will be hard, decisive, and we will make them regret what they did. Have faith and stay calm. It will be decisive and final.
Meanwhile, Iran's parliament passed a bill on Tuesday designating all US forces terrorists over the killing of a top Iranian military commander in a US strike last week. It also agreed to bolster the coffers of the Quds force, which Soleimani led, by $244 million.
In addition to CENTCOM and regional forces of the United States, we also identified the Pentagon among these terrorists, as well as those giving the order for assassinating the martyred General Qasem Soleimani. According to this evaluation, the US Secretary of Defense and Trump himself were also identified as terrorists, and they should be punished.
On another front, US Defense Secretary Mark Esper cleared the air following reports by Reuters and other media of an American military letter indicating a troop pullout. He said US has no plans to pull its troops out of Iraq. The letter said US-led coalition forces would be using helicopters to evacuate. Several choppers were heard flying over Baghdad on Monday night, adding to the confusion. The US has about 5,000 troops in Iraq. US Defense Secretary told reporters the letter was a poorly worded draft document meant only to underscore increased movement by US forces. Friday's assassination of the 62-year-old Soleimani heightened the international concern about a new war in the volatile region. Germany has said it was withdrawing some of its troops deployed as the anti-IS coalition in Iraq. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned on Monday that geopolitical tensions are at their highest level this century and called on world leaders to stop escalating tensions, exercise maximum restraint and restart dialogue.
I'm in constant contact with leading officials around the world. And my message is simple and clear. Stop escalation. Exercise maximum restraint. Restart dialogue. Renew international cooperation. Let us not forget the terrible human suffering caused by war.
NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg warned on Monday that Iran must avoid further violence and provocations. The European Union, whose foreign ministers will hold emergency talks on Tuesday, said it was in both Iran and Iraq's interest to take the path of sobriety and not the path of escalation. China too continues to call for de-escalation and restraint.
We urge the United States not to abuse any further use of force. And we also call on all relevant parties to exercise maximum restraint and talking to each other and trying to find solutions through dialogues and for the purpose of the peace and security of the whole region and also for the whole world.
World markets remained cautious, though there was a marginal reversal of the downtrend, with crude also easing out. For the moment, it's a wait-and-watch game on all fronts, with calls for restraint continuing. Newsnight Desk, DD India.
And before we leave you, a quick one on the T20 encounter currently underway between India and Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka have set a victory target of 143 for India in the second outing, which is now underway at Indore. In reply, India were 121 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. Earlier put into bat, Sri Lanka scored 142, losing 9 wickets in stipulated 20 overs. In fact, Sri Lanka started off pretty well with Avishka Fernando starting on the attacking note. Only him and Kusal Pereira showed some fight with the willow. Dhananjaya De Silva towards the end tried to provide much needed impetus or support, but it was too late. He could do the last long, perhaps he could last long and resurrect Sri Lanka's inning. The only positive for the visitors is that the hat-trick of boundaries towards then end and they might feel they have some momentum with them. For India, Shardul Thakur scalped 3 wickets while Navdeep Saini and Kuldeep Yadav shared 2 wickets between them. India were excellent with their lines and lengths. Remember, they won the toss, elected to field. And also Bumrah and Washington Sundar had 1 wicket each to their credit. And with that, it's time to wind up this edition of Newsnight. Thanks very much for staying tuned to DD India. Stay with us again.